Hey everyone, I'm Ann. Welcome to the Let's Get Naked podcast, where we dive deep into vulnerability. In this space, we'll explore what triggers us, uncover the patterns holding us back, and discover how to take charge of our own growth. If you're ready to dig in, be vulnerable, and face the tough stuff, then buckle up. It's time to get naked. Today's episode is about more than survival. It's about what happens when life scorches you, literally, and you still choose to rise. In 2001, my guest lived through something most of us can't even imagine. A horrific accident left him with disfiguring burns covering his body. It should have ended him, physically, emotionally, spiritually. But instead, it became the beginning of a transformation. This is not just a story about trauma, it's about the kind of courage you can't teach, the kind of resilience that only reveals itself when everything else has been stripped away. We talk so much about mindset and positivity and grit, but let's be honest, most of us haven't had our lives reduced to ash. Most of us haven't looked in the mirror and had to come to terms with a body we no longer recognize and still choose to stand tall in it. This man didn't just survive, he alchemized his pain. He turned tragedy into testimony. He became a walking reminder that no matter how brutal the fall, the human spirit is engineered to rise. So today, I invite you to lean in. This episode is about grief, pain, healing, and triumph. But more than anything, it's about possibility. What's possible when you refuse to give up on yourself, even when the world tells you that you should? Let this conversation remind you, you are capable of more than you think. Your scars, whether visible or hidden, are proof not of what you've lost, but of what you've survived. Today, I'm stripping it all off with Jason Schechterle, Only 14 months into his career as a Phoenix police officer, Jason's life changed in seconds on March 26, 2001. He was in his patrol car, stopped at a red light, when a taxi traveling over 100 miles an hour slammed into him, causing an explosion that trapped him in flames exceeding 700 degrees. Through a series of miraculous circumstances, Jason survived the devastating crash and the severe burns that ravaged over 40% of his body, drastically altering his appearance and leading to nearly 60 surgeries just to regain the ability to perform simple daily tasks. Welcome to the show, Jason. I appreciate you joining me.
Thank you very much. That is a heck of an introduction.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear what I have to say.
I can't either. This is going to be great. For our listeners, Jason and I were just chatting before we started recording about kind of the format of the podcast and that we never know where it's going to come. And he says, I can't wait to see what we're going to say. And I said, I can't either because, for me, I come into these interviews with curiosity and then we just let it roll. So welcome. Your story is out there as far as kind of the logistics of what happened. And so I don't really necessarily want to get into that so much other than anything that you maybe want to tell that you feel like is important. I think for me, I look at the story afterwards and see the resilience that it must have taken and kind of some of the things that are in the crevices of your story, some of the heart and the wins and those kind of things that maybe are not part of your main story that, that you've thought after the fact, I should have shared that. Or, you remembered something that you really lent strength to. So maybe give an overview of kind of what your story is and what that looked like, and then we can dive in from there.
Yeah, and I love how you said that because it's more about how the water fills the cracks. It's not the cracks in our life. But I've noticed, I was born and raised here in Phoenix, and I've noticed over the years, a lot of people don't know who I am anymore, don't know the story. And of course, my appearance, which people think is like, oh, that life must be so hard. Listen, this was almost 25 years ago. Right. This is nothing compared to
what you dealt
today.
With. Yeah.
But to take everybody back, and some people will remember, some people won't. But again, born and raised here. Graduated high school, was pretty good at golf. Went to college for a little while, do that, and then wanted some structured discipline, joined the Air Force. Did my 4 years, it was great. Met and married my wife, Susie, at a very young age. We had a couple kids very young, so a lot of responsibilities with no money. back then, and got a job with Arizona Public Service, loving it. I started out at the nuclear plant, and then I got an apprenticeship to be a lineman. And then on March 26th of 1999, an officer named Mark Axon was shot and killed in the line of duty. And I've been lucky to have, unfortunately at his expense, but I've had 2 aha moments in my life. Most people might get one, most people have none. And it changed my life completely. I said, I got to be doing that. I got to be wearing that uniform and working in the city that I grew up in. And so I became a Phoenix police officer in September of 99. And then wasn't too long into my career. It was on March 26th, which 2 years to the day after Mark was killed. I mean, the irony of that.
That's wild.
I can't even tell you how. I still remember going to work that day with such a sense of honor and pride in that uniform, an extra sense of duty in honor of him. I even drove out to where he was shot and killed to his memorial marker to make the sign of the cross, to thank him for his service and his sacrifice, to thank him for being my why, not knowing that in about 8 hours I was going to come very close to that same memorial marker. So I go through 8 of my 10-hour shift, and I was on my way to an emergency call, 20th Street and Thomas, Phoenix Children's Hospital, Arizona Heart Institute, AZ 51, very busy part of the valley, and stopped briefly for a red light, had my lights and siren on, and a guy hit me doing 115 miles an hour. And car burst into flames, but miracles, luck, God, whatever you choose to believe, doesn't matter.
Yep.
I was propelled 270 feet and came to a stop right in front of a Phoenix fire truck, which, I mean, what are the chances you catch on fire and there's a fire truck just
Right
sitting
there.
there, right? And, I make light of that, but it changed their lives forever. I still stay in touch with everybody involved because it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
And they got me out of the car in about 90 seconds. I was at the best burn center in the United States at County Hospital, which is now called Valley Wise, beautiful new hospital. I was there in less than 8 minutes. Nobody gets that kind of timeline. And that started the journey that I've been on now for, 24 and a half years.
Isn't that incredible? Like,
Well, not in a good way.
No, not in a good way, and I don't mean that.
More
but
than 2 decades.
Right, but it's like, wow, like just the circumstances that led to that, because how different would it have been had there not been that time,
So many
right?
things.
All of the things that fell into place to make this possible for you to even be sitting here.
Yeah, and there's a list of things. I mean, the one guy oversleeping the alarm, not getting on the truck in about 45 seconds, or else they would have made the turn. And a fire truck, it's not like you could just turn on a dime, right?
Yeah.
Had they made the turn off the access road onto Thomas, I'm not sitting here sharing this story with you. The fact that I was knocked out, which makes sense at that ridiculous speed, but I've known so many people, including a lot of officers were killed in these rear-end fuel-fed fires. 3 of them here in Arizona, we were ground zero.
Right.
And all of them were awake, yelling, screaming. So then you're sucking in the fumes, the hot air, and you cannot survive that.
Right.
Because I was knocked unconscious, my breathing was very shallow, very quiet, and they got me out so quick. So I had no internal injuries. All my burns were external. And outside of the burns, I had 2 cracked ribs and a mild concussion. That was it. Wow. That car doesn't catch on fire. I'd have went home a few hours after the accident. So there's just, I could literally list 100 things that took place. I answered up for a call that I should not have answered up for.
Right.
It wasn't in my area, but it went unanswered. People were busy. it was a dead body call, so I thought a violent crime had been committed, and I ignored it. Not once, but twice. So again, those 6, 7, 8 seconds, that changes everything. It's kind of amazing when you look back at all the pieces and how this puzzle got put together.
Yeah. You had kids already when this accident
I
happened?
had 2. I have
Okay.
3 now.
How old were they when this happened?
My daughter Kylie was 7, and my son Zane was only 2. He turned 3
Right after.
when I was in a coma.
So when the accident happened, and it knocked you out, when do you remember coming to, and what was that like for you?
Oh, that was rough.
Yeah.
I woke up clear-headed as I am right now, and I remember just 1,000 thoughts flooding into my mind. Like, I'm in a hospital. I could smell it. I could hear it. Why can't I move? Why can't I open my eyes? Thankfully our bodies are somewhat protective. That the word surreal is actually, it's valuable. So I woke up and my wife was in the room and she told me I was in a car accident. And then, of course I was like, well, when? And I'm thinking, I remember being at work. Like, my memory was right there.
Right.
And she gave me the date. She said March 26th. And I thought, that is a really odd answer to that question. And she said, well, today's June 12th. And 2.5 months.
You didn't wake up for 2.5 months?
2.5 months. And so my son, and right away, these are the things. It's crazy what you think about, right?
It is. I'm just sitting here mouth open.
I'm like, I missed Zane's birthday.
Yeah.
His 3rd birthday. What kind of a dad am I? Immediately, I had guilt and anger. And then I was like, I missed our wedding anniversary, which is in April. And then she started to tell me what happened. And I stopped her. I said, you cannot say anything else, because my only fear ever since childhood was fire. That was it. And
Really?
I figured I could handle anything else that comes my way. And to be told that's what happened and no warning, it was pretty tough. And I went through the emotions that I think not only is it normal, but it's required.
Yeah.
Like, I went through the shock, the anger, the disbelief, the sadness, the tears. I've lost my job. What are my children going to think of me? Why are you even here? Telling that to my wife, not wanting to talk to my friends. Just everything that you could think of. I cleared the spectrum off, and it took about 3 weeks to have my next aha moment, and finally got it together and decided to get in the fight, and been fighting ever since.
Yeah. May I ask what the second aha moment was that was 3 weeks after you came out of the coma?
So it was the end of June. I was laying in bed in the middle of the night, no visitors during those hours, and I was completely blind, okay? So when you're blind, well, it's bad enough when you're not blind, you're alone with your thoughts.
Right.
All the time.
Right.
Pretty dangerous place to be.
Yes.
When you're blind, you're definitely alone. And I really can't explain it, but I had 2. One was the guy who hit me. He was having an epileptic seizure. He had caused a bunch of other accidents. He was in jail. He went to prison for 10 years. But if it wasn't me, he would have made it to 24th Street in Thomas. He could have hit a woman with her kids, somebody's grandparents.
Right.
So maybe in some small way I was doing my job, or at least I was going to choose, because life is all about choices. That is the greatest gift that God gives us. And there's an old saying, and you'll find that I don't like when people say, oh, that's a cliche. Well,
There's a reason
no, it's not. Get out of the shallow end of the pool and get in the deep end.
Sure.
And realize it means something. Somebody came up with something short and concise that's powerful. If you harbor anger or seek revenge against somebody who has harmed you or wronged you, It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die, right?
I agree.
That is so true. So I let go of that right away.
Wow.
And with that came the most important thing, which is accountability. I chose to be a police officer. I chose to answer up for that call. I chose to drive that route. I chose to give up the golf scholarship and join the military. I chose to only spend 4 years. I chose to postpone becoming an officer until Mark was killed. Now you're talking about choices over more than a decade that you never realize which one's going to have a ripple effect. But that's what got me into that fire and into the hospital. It wasn't a random unlucky moment of time. I was exactly where I had chosen to be. And the power of that foundation is something I really can't even explain. And that was June 30th. And the next day was when I asked the doctors, when can I go home? What's going to happen? What are we doing? And still wasn't any good news.
Sure.
Even though my attitude got a little better.
Sure.
But I got the fight, and things started to get a little better. So that was my second aha moment. I don't even know if that was an aha moment. It was just, there's two things that I search for in life, and they are rare finds. So when you find them, you better hold on to them for even a few minutes or hours. And for me, it's peace and serenity.
Yes.
And the accountability, it's not about blame. It's not about, especially not self-blame. A lot of people don't like that word. Oh, I did something wrong. No, you didn't. It's self-awareness, which is a key ingredient in resilience. And I just had the awareness that, I chose to be here. I'm not going to blame this guy. I'm not going to be angry. I'm still a husband, a father. I've got all these things. I'm still alive. Thank God. There was a couple times I thought, sure would have been easy to die, because I don't remember it. I didn't feel the impact. I didn't feel the fire. I was knocked unconscious, whereas I knew what I was facing was not going to be easy. But just that piece was a huge exhale. That feels good sometimes to let that part go.
It's fascinating to me that you talk about the accountability and, letting go of any resentment and whatever. You don't lose time that way, because I think a lot of people don't understand time is so precious, and you lose it by having those resentments and the things that, hold you back and make you the victim and all of that. We do all have choices, and everything, I believe, happens for a reason. And maybe you don't know what that is in the time that it happens, but look at all of this good that has come out of this, right?
I think the beauty of not knowing the reason is probably the best part, because then it just gives you kind of a sense of responsibility, like, all right, I might never get the answer to this.
Yes.
But if I'm patient in my grief, if I'm patient in my struggle, the why will reveal itself. But I have a responsibility to just live a good life.
Yeah.
Try to still be I'm still Jason.
Yeah.
Be a good person.
Yeah.
I don't, and again, here I go with another cliche. Part of what helped me, because I tell people all the time, look, I'm 2% of my success. I was set up for this. I'm 28 years old. I had a family. I'm a father. I had a great job that I still was getting paid. My family's
was
being
still taken
supported.
care of.
I wasn't an 18-year-old kid in the military who got blown up. They have it a lot harder. I wasn't a kid who got burned in a child abuse case who has to go to school and be made fun of. I was perfectly set up to not fail. And part of not holding on to that anger against this guy, it's very natural for us. Doesn't matter what we do for a living. Mm-hmm. How often do you go home and somebody who really loves you, hadn't seen you all day, and will say, how was your day? And we are quick to be like, oh, it was a tough day. It sucked. Why are you bleeding on somebody who didn't cut you?
Yes.
And,
That's good.
but it's such a natural, instinct to do that. And I tried to make a promise to myself that this was not their fault. This is on me, and I have to fix it.
It's so powerful to hear you talk like that. I think so many people are so quick to be the victim in such smaller circumstances than what you've gone to.
More.
Right, exactly.
Nothing.
And that's the whole thing. It isn't about whatever the event is. Mm-hmm. It's your mindset of really holding yourself back and being the victim and not coming from a positive place. I mean, you just show that with everything that you've gone through and the fight that you have gone through to even have the opportunity to sit on this couch.
And being a victim, it really is a choice. Outside of I have a 1,000-page police report. Every single page it says victim Jason Schechterle. Mm. Outside of that initial impact, that initial trauma that changes our lives, affects us, hurts us, whatever, we're only victims if we choose to be. Yes. And it really is a powerful thing because it is a choice. So, and again, I never want to disrespect people. I could have easily said, you know what, I'm just going to sit in my house the rest of my life. I'll never let anybody see these burn scars. I'm not going to be able to learn how to use my hands again. I'm not going to be able to I'm not going to regain my eyesight because I was blind for so long. There's a lot of things. And I understand why people, I don't even call it giving up. It's just they choose to not be able to fight through it. Mm-hmm. But being a victim is a choice. And if you have two choices, why not choose at least try, right? Because something good's going to come.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two things. For me, it's been, I feel like thousands.
Yeah.
But the victimization is something that I'm very grateful and can't even explain why I was able to let that go.
Yeah. Well, and I think also people don't realize that people don't take your power away from you. You have to give that. So it's the same thing in that same mentality. It's like, no, that's a choice that you have, you know, and you just have to kind of have the self-awareness to be able to do that.
Yeah.
How long were you in the hospital total before you got to come home and be with your family?
Well, the beauty of that, I love the two parts to that question. The beauty of how long I was in, so when I decided to get back into it and give some effort, was again July 1st. Mm-hmm. And the doctor said, and these are the best of the best at this hospital. Mm-hmm. And they said, we're going to need you for at least 6 more months, Christmas, with everything you got going on. Well, I walked out of the burn center on July 31st. So the motivation, and I love my doctors. Mm-hmm. One of them has since passed away. The other one I'm still very good friends with. And that it was, I want to explain to people, look, I don't care what somebody's title, training, do not let anyone ever tell you what you can or cannot accomplish if you're willing to put in the effort. So that's the first part. And that sounds really good on paper. But then I got home.
Yeah.
And the mental and emotional adversity that got me was, it was unreal because now I fully understood the change of life. I mean, no more professionals surrounding me. I was still going to therapy and surgeries, things like that. But my wife gave up a 12-year career in orthodontics that she had to take care of me. My daughter is, a squared away kid, and you can tell by what she's doing now, it actually propelled her forward. My son, Zane, he was 3, and he would actually say, "You're not my dad." Mm. And I can't think of anything that was more soul-crushing, more painful, and the overwhelming guilt that I felt that I put him into this position. Like, who the hell am I to have gone out and done this to these kids? So, when I was first at home, it was just like, part of me, I don't remember thinking it, but I know I did. Like, I want to go back to the hospital.
Right, right.
Where I'm safe, where I can just lay there and be selfish
Yeah.
and think about myself. And instead of, I'm not being selfish now. I've got responsibilities, and I got to fight harder now because I don't have them around. So, but I got home after basically 5.5 months, and then we just all went to work on rebuilding. And when I say all, I'm talking my marriage, my kids, my career, my friends, anybody who, my parents, my mom's still alive, my dad has since passed, but a lot of people had to do some type of rebuild or reset with what was going on. It wasn't just, oh, poor Jason, he's going through this. No, you're all going through something.
Sure.
I don't know what it is because I don't have to, and it's a lot harder. I mean, a lot harder to watch somebody you love go through something than to go through it yourself.
I agree with you.
It's unreal.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So that's where the guilt, people always say, well, it wasn't your fault. It was an act. Like, that's not what we're talking about. Yeah. We're talking about, they had to watch me. They had to feel what they felt and try to help me, and they were helpless. Is there any worse feeling in the world? What could they do for me? So, getting home was tough, but then, you want to make sure to count the small victories. That's the ladder. So, you ever seen that picture on the internet? You can look it up. There's two ladders. One they both go all the way to heaven. Mm-hmm. And one is a normal ladder, has rungs, and the other one has rungs about every 8 or 10 feet. Mm. Well, we all want to be on that one, right? We all want to do leaps and bounds. The problem is, at some point, one of those rungs is going to give way.
Yeah.
And when it does, if you're on that other ladder, the momentum is just going to send you crashing through all of them, and you're going to be back at ground zero. If you stay on the normal ladder and you count the small wins, when one of those rungs gives away, you just drop back to the next one, take a breath, and start your climb back up.
Exactly.
So everybody knows about my big victories. Everybody knows, we did have another baby. Huge. I did go back to work. I carried the Olympic torch. I met the president. I threw out the first pitch at a D-backs game. I had all these things that were so fun and inspirational and great memories I wouldn't trade it for the world. But it was the small things each and every day. The first time I could do it with my deformed hands, the first time I could change my new son's diaper, the first time I could put something in the microwave and get real close to it and start punching buttons. I mean, the silly little things that nobody saw. Yeah. What they saw in the news was, oh, you have this fairy tale marriage and he's strong and he's a hero. Actually, all of it is bullshit. You know what I mean? First of all, there's no such thing as a fairy tale marriage. It's the hardest thing you're ever going to do in life.
If you've ever been married, you know that.
It's the hardest thing you're ever going to do in life.
Yes.
And my wife and I have been together over 30 years. But the hero, I'm like, will you stop doing that? Because don't forget, I was March of 01, 9/11. Okay, you want to talk about heroes? Then go talk about the guys who climb the stairs. Yeah. Don't talk about me who was in a car accident. Like, that stuff would really, it did more harm than good. I mean, I appreciate people are kind and they want to view you like that, but it's not like it helped me because I was still behind closed doors like, okay, I am beyond weak. I'm beyond useless. I'm crying all the time. Yeah. I'm pissed off to a level I can't fathom. My wife and I are fighting all the time. Yeah. Because there's days I want to give up. There's days I don't want to go to therapy. My parents are suffering. Like, you have no idea what you're not seeing.
Right.
So.
Well, and I appreciate you mentioning that, because I think that that's the important stuff that people don't realize, right? It's like, oh, sure, look at all of this amazing stuff that he fought back from. Isn't that great? You know,
Yeah.
and like you said, those high
Yeah.
moments. But life is those little moments. Life is those little wins. Life is I'm on the floor screaming to God, why the fuck did you do this to me? You know, because that's life, right? That's
Right.
to me the parts that we need to talk about, so that you understand the parts where I am mad, and you know, having times when you wish that you would have died, or having times where you think, why am I still here? You know, what am I still doing? Or when you reference, you know, your son saying you're not my dad, that rips my guts out. I mean, I just, you know,
It's horrible.
in sitting before coming here this morning and thinking about what would my curious questions be, that would be one for me, is like, how did your kids respond, right?
Well,
and then you
he,
just,
he hates it,
Yeah.
and I feel bad for. He's 27 now,
Right.
very successful,
Yeah.
doing wonderful in life, and he doesn't remember it. The problem was it was captured on a CNN documentary,
oh,
and anytime, you know, there's times when I'll play it like in one of my speeches to make people understand
Yeah.
the severity, and it kills him, right, Zane?
yeah,
And he's incredible young. He's 27.
yeah,
But I'm like, buddy, you were so innocent.
Yeah.
You didn't know any better. And it actually helped me figure out another key part of resilience is self-forgiveness. And I think the way we're designed, humans, we can easily live in a sea of regret. I am an expert at self-loathing.
Yeah.
I got
you've
that
got
down.
the medals.
Trust me, I got that down pat. And I don't remember how long it took. It was a long time. I want to say about 18 months, 2 years. And I started to regain a little bit of my eyesight. Very little. So I always describe it as think of being underwater and looking at the other end of the pool. That's how blurry it was. But I could see light and I could see colors. And the darkness was the most claustrophobic, terrifying thing ever. So every day that I woke up, I was like, oh, thank God. I can at least see the blue sky. I can see that a light is on. But it was about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And I stood quietly alone in front of a mirror and said, I forgive you. And that, again, all I could do is exhale, because I'm not sure how to describe getting rid of that weight. And people hear the term resilience or courage, or they hear all these terms that we have, and they think it just means you're a strong badass all the time. Yeah. No. What it means is you are a weak, scared, reduced to nothing person at a time. And then you rise. And self-forgiveness is just as important as the self-awareness that I talked about.
I could not agree with you more. And like you said, with the weight that comes off of that, but that takes strength to be willing to sit and look in yourself in the mirror.
Well, I think that's why it
yourself.
took me 18 months.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause you're trying to...
I didn't know what to do, but you're right. It took, and I remember being alone. I still remember doing this, and I still get emotional about it, because I was even scared to do it, but I was scared in the sense of you have no right. Again, the self-loathing, the overwhelming guilt, whatever. And I was scared to do it, believing I wasn't allowed to do that. Yes, you are. You are allowed. There's so many things in my life that I've had to do it since.
Sure.
And I mean, that was the big one.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, because it dealt with my son. But over the years, I've gotten better, because I fall flat on my face all the damn time.
Yes.
All the time. And I screw up, make mistakes, I hurt people, whatever. And if you don't forgive yourself, you're really you have no chance of moving forward.
It's so powerful that you say that, because I look at that in myself and in other people that I know, you know, in my tribe that are super close to me. And the self-forgiveness is such a powerful piece that I don't think I've really ever unpacked, because it is, you feel like you hold yourself to this level where you almost can't. And so being able to get to a place where you can, and how powerful that is to set that weight down. Wow.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to set it down and then let it be part of, not only do you set it down, but let it be one of your building blocks.
Yeah.
Put it in the place where it belongs, and eventually you end up with this gorgeous pyramid, and you're sitting at the top of it.
Yeah.
Are you going to fall off of it? Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
But now that you've laid that foundation, you get to climb back up.
Yeah.
You're not starting from zero.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy important.
Yeah.
Crazy important.
When you talk about the building something, right, and the ladder and doing all of that and the failing, and of course I'm going to mess up, I'm going to screw up and do all of these things. Like, I think our younger generation specifically are so afraid of that. They're so afraid to go out and try things because of the failure aspect of it. And so I love the way that you said that, because that is life. Life is messy, and it's swinging for the fence and striking out. It's, getting up there and looking like an idiot in front of other people. It's, what did I learn from this? What did I learn from that? And there's teachers everywhere if you'll allow it. Engage with life in a playful way where it's, what are you meant to learn from that situation?
Well, the playful way is a great way for you to describe it, because humor is a huge thing for me. Thankfully, I was able to find that early on, and I laugh so much, especially self-deprecating humor.
Yes.
Listen, I'm the funniest person in the world because I can make fun of myself.
Yeah.
And I'll do it quietly alone at home with these hands or my eyesight. I could drop something, or my fifth time trying to tie my tie because I'm got an important event to go to. And I'm not getting frustrated. I'm saying, like it would be offensive if you knew what I said to myself, but I laugh.
Yeah.
I start laughing at myself.
Yeah.
Like, you're just an idiot. You're burnt. You're stupid. Your hands are jacked up. But it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
And guess what I feel? Better.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. I just feel better instead of getting upset or frustrated. Like, I'm just not going to go to this thing. I'm not going to go do this. Just laugh at yourself.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be so serious.
And hopefully surround yourself with people who will laugh with you. Mm-hmm. And even I have some great friends, and I mean, from day one, they never let me. The event itself obviously is not funny.
Right.
There's a lot of funny things that happen.
Well, we're meant to laugh. We were
a lot
meant to.
of funny things.
Sure.
And I love the fact that to this day, my closest friends, the stuff we say to each other is hilarious. And you know what they say about good friends, right? Behind their back, you talk really good. To our faces,
give us hell.
It's never anything good, ever. And I can go 2 or 3 months without seeing one of my best friends, and as soon as I see them, it's going to be
game on.
a ruthless, like, vile comment.
Yeah.
But that's what true friendship and love is on that level. Obviously,
agree.
you don't talk to your significant other or your children like that, but you need those people in your life to remind you, hey, don't take it so serious. It's not.
It's just life.
It's just life.
Well, and also, like, I think a big component of that with your friends, treating you like you're normal instead of, I think that's another big question that I have of, did you lose people? Did you have people that didn't go forward with you past this because they couldn't get past that? But I look at that with your friends giving you a hard time. Mm-hmm. You're still Jason, right?
That's exactly
underneath all of this, you're still Jason. And so give it hell, bust my balls about, whatever. Nothing's off limits with your friend group. I agree with that.
Nothing is off limits.
Yeah.
But you got to, I like that. I mean, I've never had a problem reminding myself, but I like that other people remind me, hey, you aren't nothing special.
Yeah, exactly.
One minor car accident, one little.
Exactly right.
That's what they'll tell.
My
when
family
I get like an
busts my ass
award,
like that too.
or if I get to do something cool, that's what they'll be like. Oh, look at me!
Hey, look at you! Got in a car accident. Now you do this.
And now, like, my 2 closest friends are still in law enforcement and very successful. Yeah. Very. Yeah. And I tell them all the time, like, oh, those coattails, man. God, it must have been nice to ride those all the way up to the top. But that's what we do. And we laugh.
Yes.
We just laugh. And then we'll go on to talking about our kids. We'll talk about our football teams that we love. We'll talk about anything and everything except what happened 24 years ago.
Yeah.
There's no, it finally gets to a point like, why? It's just life. Let's talk about life today.
Yeah. There's so much fun in the laughter of that, right? I have a really good family and friend group that just bust my balls all the time about all the things, right?
Good.
Like and good, exactly. And I sit there with my head smiling and nodding and just giving them credit where, giving them props when they throw out a good finger.
Like,
yeah, that's good.
I got nothing. You got me on that one. But
exactly.
It's very important to have that. And I really feel for people that don't surround themselves with, because you can't choose your family.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you could choose your friends.
Yeah.
And I did a pretty good job on that one.
And we're meant to laugh. We're meant to.
Nothing. Listen, I've had about every drug in the world, as you can imagine, through my surgeries and pain. Laughing and smiling, it's instant. What it makes you feel. It is instant.
Yeah.
How good you feel.
Yeah.
So I do it all the time.
I love that. Where do you get to with, when this all first started happening and maybe you're going out in public and people are acting a certain type of way towards you where they're uncomfortable with your appearance? What does that feel like for you on the inside?
That was definitely a long growth pattern for me. I was, of course, terrified.
Yeah.
I mean, I realized I don't, and today, all these years later, like I have no issues at all. I finally stopped having surgery, and compared to what I looked like back then, I could win a beauty contest today. But I understand, kids are going to react different. Some adults have no filter, or maybe they have such horrible lives, they're going to put it on somebody else.
Sure.
And also for me, it depends on kind of what mood I'm in. I had a speech for Prudential Bank. So it's a big deal, right?
Sure.
Freaking fancy suit and tie. I'm in Newark, New Jersey in January. It's 10 degrees below zero, which I'm from here, so not a big fan.
We don't do that.
Not a big fan. And the Uber guy at the airport, and he was looking at me a little weird loading my luggage. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But we got in the car, and most people don't say anything, and I give people a lot of credit who are brave enough to walk up and say, can I ask what happened? Or, hey, weren't you that cop? So I'm usually fine, but I just got off a 5-hour plane ride, and I was probably you know what? I just wanted to get to the hotel and get a beer.
Yes,
that's all I wanted
just
to
leave
do.
me alone.
Seriously.
Right, exactly.
I need a drink.
Yep.
Leave me alone.
Yep.
And this guy actually said to me, he goes, and just kind of quick and crass, he goes, hey, what happened to you? And I said, nothing.
Yeah,
and he looked at me, and I go, oh, I said, buddy, I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. One summer, we all looked just like this. And then I started laughing out loud. He didn't think it was very funny.
Oh, fuck him.
I thought it was pretty funny.
I think it's lovely.
And it's funny because it's true. I mean, it's going to be, 116 degrees today?
Sure.
But so it kind of depends. Or there's times I'll be sitting, I travel all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm in airports, and I'll be sitting there and, again, getting a bite to eat, having a drink for my flight. And somebody will sit next to me, and it's amazing. I end up in these great conversations, and I can tell by the way they look at me, male or female, they don't even see a scar.
Yeah.
It's I don't know, the capacity for humans to be kind and compassionate always catches me. It shouldn't. I feel bad that it does, but it almost catches me off guard. Like, you don't even care. You're not treating me anything else than, hey, what do you do for a living? Why are you in this city? Where are you going? Oh, you're going home. Good for you. Are you married? Do you have kids? Like, we just have these great conversations.
Yeah.
And so the growth over that, I mean, I still, sometimes, again, I'm human.
Yep.
Some days I'm in a not so good mood, and if somebody looks at me wrong, I could be in QT.
Yeah.
Grabbing a drink, got my truck being filled up with gas, and somebody looks at me wrong, and I'm pretty quick to be like,
Right. Can I help you with something?
Yeah, if you got a question, let's go, bro. Right. I mean, I'm pretty confrontational,
Sure.
as you can imagine.
Well, I think that's excellent, though.
As a police officer.
Sure.
But then there's times when I just smile and say, "How you doing?" I never know what's
going to come out, which Jason version you're going to get.
Well, I'm very much in the moment, and I'm present. I believe very much in being present with how you feel, and it is okay to be in a bad mood. It is okay to. If you're riddled with anxiety, and if you ignore those things, or if you try to pretend they're not there, you're just not feeding a bunch of rabid dogs, and they're gonna come for you. So get it out of the way. And when I'm feeling it on those days, I just let myself feel it. And even if somebody else, my wife could be like, "You're in a pissy mood today." Mm-hmm. You know what? I am, as a matter of fact.
Yep. Thank you for noticing.
Thank you. Thank you for noticing. I love you too. But it'll take an hour or two, and I get myself back on track with one of my many reset buttons, and I move on.
I love the way you say that about the rabid dogs, because I feel like your emotions are exactly that, right? I mean, it's just... If you don't feed them, it's not good.
You got to feed them.
Yeah, you got it. And
they're not going anywhere.
And don't just push them down and hope that they go away, because that's the worst plan.
They're not going away.
They're not going away. I learned that the hard way.
They are not going away.
Yeah.
So you gotta feed them, and just be present with yourself. It's not that hard.
No,
it really isn't.
It's wild, because we were talking about the thing that you're doing in August to go play golf in Ireland. Jason was telling me before the show that he's going to Ireland to play golf for 7 days out of the 9 that you're there, which is
7 different courses,
amazing.
Including the one they're playing the British Open at Port Rush, and I'll be all along the coast of Northern Ireland. It's been my number one bucket list for. I've been playing golf my whole life, but and I'm 52 now, so I'd say 20 plus years. And I never thought I'd get the chance. Yeah. And it's me and 3 other guys.
Love it.
We're going to have the best time. I'm going to eat, and there won't be a Guinness left in Ireland by the time I'm gone in those 9 days. I guarantee it. I'm gonna do it exactly right, and bring back every memory possible.
Yeah. Well, and for our listeners, Jason was saying that, that's in 2 weeks, and he's not even really getting twisted up and thinking about it. He's just present with what's happening right now. And I thought, what a lovely lesson for other people that are listening of how important that is don't worry so much about what happened in the past. Don't worry so much about what's going to happen in the future. Just be present in today. Be present in, what that looks like, and don't get twisted up in all of the BS.
Yeah, because I'm not just sitting home watching reruns of Yellowstone. Sure. For the next show. I've got a speech at TCU Medical Center on this coming Monday.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to see my grandkids, who I haven't seen in a while. They live in Texas. My daughter has 2 kids now, and there's nothing like being a grandpa. Friggin' love it. I'm so glad now I started young.
Yeah.
My grandson's going to turn 4 while I'm there, and then I have a 10-month-old granddaughter. And then from there, I go to Miami, and I'm down to only 2 states that I've never been to, but I have never been to Miami.
Wow.
And I can't wait.
That's awesome.
And it's an all-day mental health conference. I'm the closing speaker. It was started by an incredible guy who lost his brother to a line of duty law enforcement shooting about 3 years ago. It's called Bleeding Blue. And I even told the guy, I was like, listen, I know that this is a really serious conference, okay? And I'm gonna nail it. I promise you, because this is what I love to do. Yeah. But when it's over, I said, somebody's got to take me to South Beach, because I've never seen it, and I got to see the girls in bikinis.
Yes.
And I got to be like, oh, that's why all the famous people come party here. And then from there, I go to Columbia, South Carolina to speak at another law enforcement. So I've got all these things, the work that I love. I work for the Hunter Club of Arizona here, which is the largest nonprofit for first responders. Yesterday, I was out at the Glendale Police Department's training facility, and I put some pictures on my Instagram. I was messing with one of their canines, and I'm not going to lie, I was a little nervous.
Those things are savage.
But he had a toy, and the officer, his trainer, or his handler, was like, no, he knows the difference between playtime and work time. And I'm like, well, he's pretty strong, and I'm a little nervous right now, because it's going to take 1 second, and I'm done, right? But it's just, yesterday was great. Today is awesome because of this, and then I'll go back to work the rest of the afternoon. I've got some checks. I'm going to deliver a couple checks today to 2 firefighters who don't know each other, and I don't know them yet, and both of them are dying of cancer. Mm. Why in the world would I be worried about Ireland right now? I'll be worried about Ireland when I get on the airplane.
Yeah, in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? It's just being present today. I can't wait to see my grandkids, but I know I've got this has been so much fun. I'm smiling like crazy, but I know that when I leave here, it's going to be a tough afternoon. Yeah. And then tonight, I'll have to find a way my wife is in Texas with our grandkids already. So I'll be home alone, and I probably will turn on a rerun of Yellowstone, something that I don't have to, or Friends, something from the 90s that I grew up with, and just find a way to hit the reset button and think about tomorrow, and did I leave somebody better today than I found them? Yeah. And if I did, then
it was a win. Yeah.
Hey, it's been a full day.
Yeah. You know, for our listeners, that was something Jason and I were talking about before we started recording as well, about, you know, you wake up in the morning and you tell the big guy, put you wherever you can be of the most service. And as long as you left today or someone or something better than how you found it, it's a win. And I just think if more people kind of came from that approach of just stop being so concerned about complaining about stupid shit that doesn't matter and that you don't have any control over, you know, how can you be of service to the collective, to someone else?
Such a simple formula, and people say, oh, there's no secret to life. Yes, there is. Yeah. It's so simple.
It is.
Just leave the day better than you found it.
Yeah.
And your profession, that's your only job. You know, I don't know if I did, but I'm going to choose to believe I left law enforcement better than I found it, even though I only did it for 7 years. And while I have friends who are now chiefs of police and high ranking doing this, or they're awesome at SWAT. And, I only did it for 7 years. I was in a car accident, but I still choose to believe with what I'm doing now, I left that seat better than I found it. I didn't take it for granted. I didn't, even though what happened to me, I didn't have regrets. I didn't have the anger at them or anything like that. And I wish people would, no matter what you do in life, even if you hate your job, and I know a lot of people do, just wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to leave this day better than I found it.
Yeah.
And yes, you might come home and say, today sucked. But I bet if you really reflected, you could find maybe 20 minutes that were rough. The rest of it was your mindset. The rest of it was your attitude that you let take over. At any given moment of this day, you can change the outcome. You can turn the page and be like, what is next? What is just, you know what? I just got to get through this hour.
Yeah.
Just this hour. And then let me see what I can see from there. I mean, there's a lot of hours in a day.
Yeah.
Why are you giving up on the whole day when you had 10 bad minutes?
Yeah. Take a minute.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. Take a minute. Reset. Get back in the flow.
Yeah. There are times, and people might laugh at this, but I honestly do this. I will pull over.
Yeah.
And there are certain songs, and I'm big, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, I need some motivation. I need to be pumped up. So they put on a song. Well, if I feel down here, I don't want to hear a song that's up here. I want to feel a song that equates to what I'm feeling right now. And music is soul stirring to me, like life-saving in a way. There are times where I will pull over into a parking lot and I will sit there and I will listen to a couple of songs. It's amazing what it does. But that works for me. It doesn't work for everybody. And it takes me, 7 minutes?
Right.
And all of a sudden my day, I just fixed.
Well, you're feeding those rabid dogs.
I'm feeding the emotions.
I mean, that's a whole thing. Don't push it away and say like, oh, screw that, whatever, and not be able to address it. Let them eat. Let them eat. They need to, and then you can release it and move on with your day and have that be, amazing. Let me ask you a question. I want to circle back for one last question.
Yeah.
You mentioned that as a child, that the fire was the fear for you. Where did that stem from? What did, where was that? What? Say more about that, I guess.
I really don't know. I know I was playing with matches and paper when I was a really little boy, and I lit my trash can on fire in my bedroom. And I don't know if I was more worried about my old school New Jersey dad whipping my ass
Yeah.
or the fire. I don't know which one I was more scared of. But then, just growing up, working with APS around electricity was really scary and dangerous. And then when I was a cop, I did see people who were burned and disfigured. I watched people die in fires.
Yeah.
And it was just, I was like, you know what? I think I can handle anything. I can't go through that. It's such a unique, difficult injury, and the pain is off the charts.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where it came from. I can tell you, never in my life, from childhood to now, never owned or cooked on a gas barbecue grill.
Yeah.
I don't buy real Christmas trees. I mean, I take zero chances.
Right.
And I don't have the fear of fire now because God's not going to do this twice.
No.
Yeah.
God.
I always tell people if I die,
Right.
I guarantee you I'm going to drown.
Yeah.
Just because he has a sense of humor.
Thank God.
He has a sense of humor too.
Yeah.
I caught this guy on fire. Now I'm just going to let him
give him something else.
Let him drown. Yeah. To make it, the irony would be perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's, it's just always grown up like I want to stay away from that.
Yeah. Well, and I was talking with my husband this morning, and he was saying he has a couple of aunts that are nurses, and some of them have worked in the burn unit,
yeah.
and he says there's nothing like that
No.
they've said. He said there's just, you can't even get your head around the kind of pain. And even if you just think about having a bad burn on your hand or something, I can't even mentally fathom what you went through.
I give those nurses so much credit because it's kind of, it's like law enforcement. People. I retired as a homicide detective. People are like, how could you be around death like that? And I'm like, well, because I couldn't have worked child crimes. I couldn't have worked sexual assaults. Like, I knew my lane. And it's the same thing for nurses. Some are good at delivering babies. Some are good at helping cancer patients. It's not for everybody to work in the burn center. And so for the ones that do, I give them a lot of credit because we're the second busiest in the United States next to Atlanta. And if you walked in there right now, more than half of the patients are children. And I give those nurses, and I'd be nowhere without running, because nurses are there 24/7, right?
Yeah.
Doctors are there 5 minutes a day,
Sure.
giving you a quick report. Nurses are always there. Mm-hmm. I love my nurses, and I still keep in touch with them to let them see, hey, remember what you did back then? Mm-hmm. It mattered. It worked.
They're angels.
It helped me.
They're literally
I wouldn't
angels.
do it.
No.
Hell no would I do it.
There's a level that they bring to the table that is just.
And believe me, I gave them a lot of grief.
You look like you're trouble, Jason.
I gave them a lot of grief sometimes. I'm like, this hurts. Quit poking me. I'm getting tired of this. And we laugh. Of course, we laugh about it now.
Yeah.
That happened. But yeah, I'm grateful that there are people who will find what their passion is, what they're good at, where their heart is, and just do it.
Yeah.
Because it helps.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for taking time and
spending
spending with me today. I think
this
conversation has been amazing, so I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
For our listeners, Jason's information will be on the website under the guest page. If you want to find out more about him, he has some pretty incredible motivational speaking. I mean, just listening to you and some of those videos, it's powerful that you can take this tragedy and turn it into your testimony, and also just empower and help other people along their journeys too. Thank you. Okay, so that's our time for today. If you have questions, suggestions, or think you have a story you want to add, please either DM us or send us an email, ladies@letsgetnakedpodcast.com, and then do all the things to support the pod so we can continue to do this important work. Follow, share, rate, and review. We will catch you next time. That's a wrap.